Okay, we're going to shoot this bow now. I'm going to give you a little lesson on shooting a self bow. I am not an authority on you know, shooting, or I'm a better bowyer than archer, let's put it that way. But I'm going to give you a little insight so you don't just grab it like you would a compound bow. First off is the grip. You don't want to grab it and choke it, you know, hold it like that. Sorry, watching about 3 deer run by my property right now. I better focus. It's not deer season. So, this is where I have decided the arrow pass is, and I'm going to grip it just below that, because you're going to be shooting off your knuckle. And when you grip your bow, you're going to grip it like this. Right in that V. You're going to make a V with your hand. Put this arrow down. Show you. Make a V. Stick it right in there. You're basically only holding it with like a pinch action between your thumb and your finger, if that makes sense. These fingers don't even ever have to close if you don't want them to. When I shoot, they kind of just sit there, okay? Because the tension on a string when you draw it is what's keeping the bow in your hand. So, that's grip. When you nock an arrow, when you go to draw, you don't change that. You don't all of a sudden choke it. That's going to change the bow position. Your arm should not be completely locked, hyperextended. Your elbow should not be driven completely inward. You want to keep a slight bend in that arm. Okay? But you want to keep this bow arm, when you place it out there, and however you choose to shoot, I shoot instinctive, so I just look with my eyes and focus on the target and on a small spot on the target. If it's a deer, you know, I'm looking right behind the shoulder at a piece of hair or a patch of hair or marking, whatever it is, and I'm focusing on that spot only. You don't look at the whole target. If you don't shoot instinctive and you do point shooting system or gap shooting, then that's up to you to figure out from there. I don't shoot that style anymore. I switched to instinctive. It just happened. So I stopped fighting it and went with it. But if you sight down the arrow and stuff, it doesn't matter how you shoot. This bow arm, once you have it aimed at your point, should not move throughout the entire motion. So you got your grip. You have it aimed. And remember, you have to cant these to some extent. It doesn't have to be completely over, but you have to have it canted because you're creating an arrow shelf right here for the arrow to sit. If you hold it straight up and down, all your arrows are going to go off to the left, and that's even if they stay on the hand when you're drawing back. Okay? So, nock the arrow. You want to have it in a way that it's perfectly level. You don't want to have nock pointed up or nock pointed down. Okay? And I use a 3-finger grip, which is a split finger, like so. In that first crease, or just in front of that first crease. So you can gently release. And the release is very key to having good arrow flight. You're going to use what's called back tension. Basically, you put that bow arm out there, aiming at your target, whether you're using instinctive archery or sighting down the arrow. You grab your string, you'll have it on there. And at this moment right here, you're going to push that elbow back by bringing your shoulder blades together. So you're going to use your back muscles to draw the bowstring back to your anchor point. So again, back muscles drawing back to anchor. Don't just use your bicep or your arm. It's going to want a tendency to curl that string in and move it. You want a straight line. Aim, back muscles, anchor. Anchor. Now your anchor can be in different spots. That's up to you. I anchor and I have a spot that I know that my thumb knuckle locks into the back of my jaw. I'll show you that again. Bow arm is out. I'm staring at my spot. Back tension, anchor. Now the release. The release is huge. You're going to maintain that back tension and basically just relax your fingers and the string will slip out. And because you're maintaining back tension, this hand should continue back because your back is pulling it in that direction. So when you loose the arrow, when you let it slip from your fingers because you relaxed your fingers, your back will continue to pull your hand back. And you know, you've seen people rest back here or flip or let their hand fly back. Whatever's comfortable for you. It's best to do limited movement so there's no chance in knocking the string off course. So I'll shoot one for you and then we're going to talk about a knocking point on your string. I'm going to do all the movements. I'm going to focus on a spot. Put my bow arm up. Back tension. Anchor and release. Hand came back to here. Knocking point. That was great arrow flight. So I'm totally pleased with that spot that I've chosen. So what I'm going to do is knock another arrow. Make sure it looks level to me. And make a mark with a marker. Right above, because I knock below. That's up to you. Some people knock. Sorry, there goes those deer running and crossing the road. Wish I could show you that. Okay. Make a mark. See that black mark right above the arrow knock? Right there. That's where we're going to tie our knocking point. So you knock in the same spot every time, and it controls the tail of the arrow. Flies off the bow. Nice and smooth flight. We're going to tie this knocking point next.